this is Eliana. Today I'm going to be sharing with you our new sticky mats. When you get your sticky mats, you should get 3 different patterns. One pattern has centimeters. One has 1/4 inch grids. And one has 1/8 inch grid. These are just like the sticky mats that you get for your die cutting machine. The difference between these and the ones for your die cutting machines are that the sticky goes all the way to the very edge and you have useful grid lines. The first thing you want to do is to remove the protective film. This will expose the adhesive below. You can place this on top of your foam insert, or you could remove the foam insert and use this with your red rubber stamps. There are a lot of things that you can do with your sticky mats. One is to use it with your die cuts. I typically struggle with stamping an image and then die cutting it. For some reason, it always shifts. I can never get my die cut to cut centered. So this is my workaround. First, I start by die cutting a bunch of the shapes. Since I'm going to be working with cling mount stamps, I'm going to remove my insert. I've placed a piece of grid paper on the base of the unit, and now I'm going to take this image from the Tailored Expressions Party Pals stamp set. I just placed it inside of the MISTI and picked it up with the lid. Now I'm just going to stamp it down, and it's in the middle of the page and it's perfectly fine. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that everything is tucked into the corner. I have my sticky mat in place, and now I'm going to take the negative piece of my die cut and I'm going to place it over that image. Because the sticky mat is completely clear, you're able to line everything up. Now I wanted the lines on the grid mat to be white so that I would be able to see my images much clearer. Now that I have it centered, I'm going to press down that cardstock, and now it's going to hold everything in place for me. Now I can simply just drop in my die cut and I can stamp. And now my image is perfectly centered on my die cut. I'm just going to peel it up, put my sticky mat back in place, and drop in my next piece. Now if you want to color these images, just put them back on the sticky mat. The sticky mat's going to hold them in place while you do your coloring, and you don't have to worry about holding a tiny piece down. And just put it back on the sticky mat and color away. The sticky mat has plenty of grip so that you're able to hold your cardstock in place, but you could easily pull it off without damaging your cardstock. Another way to use your sticky mats is with large background stamps. There's 2 different ways you can do this. If you're making multiples, I would suggest that you line up your card base with the grid lines on your MISTI, place your stamp over your cardstock, close the lid of your MISTI, and pick up your stamp. If you want to make sure that you get a particular pattern, then I would place the stamp on the lid of your MISTI. I would place the cardstock over your stamp just to make sure that it's centered or however you want. And then I would place a magnet on your sticky mat. I would close the MISTI, but I would close it with the base going towards the lid. That way you know your stamp is centered onto your cardstock. Once you have that in place, you could stamp with your favorite ink color. Always make sure that your grid mat is tucked into the corner. That way you know for sure that you will get a precise stamp each time. And if there's a spot that you miss, you could ink your stamp again and close the lid of the MISTI again. When you're done, you could very easily pull off your card base from the sticky mat, and you don't have to worry about removing any residue from the back of your card. And here's another use for your sticky mats. Now I have the sticky mat here and it still has the film on top of it. I'm going to leave the film in place. I'm going to put my card base in the corner of the MISTI. I'm going to place my sticky mat on top. I'm going to take the Hugs stamp from the Rabbit Hole Designs Hug stamp set. I'm going to use the grid lines on the sticky mat to line it up. Now if you have trouble seeing the lines, just move the cardstock over and you should be able to see where the lines are. It's just that this has white on white, but if you just use the foam insert, you'll be able to see the lines a little bit better. But just line up your stamp. Now I can ink up my stamp on the lid of the MISTI, and then I'm going to close the lid and it's going to stamp on that slick surface of the sticky mat, of the protective film of the sticky mat. I'm able to see if I like the design or if it's centered. I can just pick up the sticky sheet and I could see where the lines are and it's perfectly lined up. And then when I'm all done, I can just take a towel, baby wipe, whatever you want to use, and you're just going to wipe off the ink from the sticky mat protective film, and now you have created a double duty for your sticky mat. Now the sticky mats are a consumable product, so at some point they will need to be replaced. But you can prolong the life of your sticky mat. If it starts to lose its stick, you can take your sticky mats over to your kitchen sink, add a little bit of Dawn dish soap, take a nail brush, and gently wipe away the lint. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to order your sticky mats. The link is in the description below. Have a great day.